What's going on, everyone? My name's Mark, and this is Mako Reselling. Now, I buy things at thrift stores, resell them on eBay, pocket the difference. And in today's video, I've got another thrift haul for you. These are going to be items that I got primarily. I think this load is all from the Goodwill retail stores. I'll let you know what I paid, how much I expect it to sell for, or what I'm going to list it for, and any other nuggets of information. So let's go ahead, let's get started. First item here is, this is actually a retail buy. This was from the Kohl's clearance sale. These are Shack, I believe this is the low rack or something like that. Rack low shoe. I got these for $15 online. That sale was July 21st is when it started. Got an email early in the morning. I would highly recommend signing up for the Kohl's sales. They have these semi-annual sales every year. And if you go in the store, you can find even better deals. I didn't make it into the store until Wednesday because I was working. But when I went in Wednesday, there were still some decent deals, although I noticed it had pretty much been picked over very well. So I got 4 pairs of these, and then I got a size 13 that I got 2 pairs of. I bought those for $15 each. I expect them to sell for about, I'll list them between $45 to $50. Might bump them up once basketball season gets a little bit closer. But yeah, these were a nice thing, and they will be easy to list, and there will be some good like $20 to $25 profit per shoe. Next item here, a nice find. I got this at Goodwill. This is a LL Bean Chore barn jacket. Nice, and it's an XLT, so it's a tall. I paid $6.99 for this. I just sold a woman's one, a nice red color for $50 that cost $6.99. So I think I'm going to list this out for about like $55 to $60. And it might take a while to sell, but this is a big jacket. It is a nice outdoor jacket, and it could sell, could sell in the summer, but, more than likely it'll go in the fall time. I have been selling some jackets this summer. Okay, next thing I've got here, these are a pair of Gap high-rise flare corduroys, white corduroys. The MSRP is $79. And it is the high-rise 70s flare. Now, the reason I got these was because they were new with tags. I expect these will go from like $25 to $30, paid $4.99. If I see new with tags and it's over like $70, $80, I'm usually going to pick it up. If it's like $40 or $50, probably will pass on it. All right, a Nike Golf, a quarter zip here. And I picked this up primarily because I saw this emblem for Osser, I think it's called. Now, I did look this up, and this is like for an for a prosthetic leg. The company makes like prosthetic legs and arms. So I really have no idea how in demand this is going to be, but I think that it will sell because it is Nike. It's a nice piece. I'll probably list this out for $25. It costs $4.99. Okay, Gap. These are a nice, pretty good find here. Not something I buy all the time with Gap, but you can see this is the worker jean, and this is the worker Jean Ouvrier. If you see that, a nice model of Gap to be looking out for, and I think that these are vintage, but this specific model, this worker jean, if you see like Gap outerwear type stuff, it can be worth checking out. I think this will sell in that $25 to $30 range, cost $4.99. Okay, next pants here. Next item is a pair of cool pants. Definitely a brand that's good to be looking out for. Now, these are women's. I don't sell a ton of the women's ones. The men I know do pretty well. This is a size 4. I bought this for $4.99. I will sell it between $30 to $35. Cool is something that does well. I'll put all those words in there in the title, like camping, hiking, all that kind of stuff. All right, good find here. This is Armani Colezzini, and it's just a shirt here. I believe this is an XL to, let's see, 2XL, so that will definitely help it out. I've sold one of these shirts for about $40, just like a regular type one. So I'll probably list this for $45. This costs $4.99. And this kind of, a lot of times these types of shirts kind of slip through the reseller crowd because sometimes, they're not willing to go through the shirts and really dive in there and dig. I dug $4.99 into $40 to $45, so it will be a nice flip. All right, I've cut back a lot on buying these types of shirts, like just these Polo Ralph Lauren. Actually, I barely buy them unless there's an emblem or anything. But this is a nice white one, a nice big. It is a 3XB, if you can see there. So I bought this for $4.99. There's no stains on it or anything. And I will list this out for probably $22 to $25. It's a nice shirt, and being the bigger size will definitely help it out. But yeah, if that was just like a medium or large, I'm not buying it. All right, this is a Polo Golf, like a sweater vest, sleeveless, and it's got the President's Cup there. This costs $4.99. I believe when I looked at this, the comps were not as impressive as I thought. I thought this would be about a $30 item. They were more like $22, around that range. I will have to kind of double check, but I think it's a cool item. Golf people, if they want something, they want it. And I don't know what year this is. I'll have to kind of look that up. This looks older with this Polo Golf thing. So we'll see on this how that one does. All right, pair of Brooks Brothers corduroys. These are a 3630 tag. They cost $4.99, and this is something I pick up when I see it. This is the Elliott model. I'm not too familiar with that specific one. Don't think it's anything too special. This looks modern. I will list these out for $30, and more than likely they will sell in the fall time. And those cost $4.99. This was a good find here. Something I think a lot of people might pass up. The brand is Falkenbull. If I'm sure I'm butchering that. Italian brand, made in the US, French brand. So this is just a white dress shirt, but it is new with tags. And it's an extra small, which is not great. But this kind of looks like, I think this is a woman's, if I remember correctly. Let's see. It doesn't say, but by the way it comes down, I kind of feel like it's a woman's. Let's see. Get anything down here. I'll have to double check on this one, but the MSRP being $98, I should be able to get at least $30 for this, and this was $4.99. Another new with tags item. If stuff's new with tags, I tend to lean toward picking it up. This is a GH Bass quarter zip. Now, I do like the collar with this one, this thing right here. Although these are not selling terrifically well, it's tough to gauge how well these do. It's not a great brand, obviously. Being new with tags, being a quarter zip, having that MSRP, I think it's like $80. Yeah, hopefully I can get this like for $22 to $25, and it costs $4.99. All right, next item here. This is a Brooks Brothers, just a plaid shirt. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to do. What kind of attracted me to this is it says woven in Italy. I don't think that really appreciates the value too much. It's not like Brooks Brothers Makers, where when it says made in America, your shirt shoots up into that 30, 40 range. This, I don't think so. In the store, I decided not to look it up and just to take a chance and kind of see how this does. It's a large, which is a pretty, decent enough size, but we'll see how it does. Might have to just sell it for like $20 or something. It costs $4.99, and we'll kind of see. All right, good find here. This was on the new racks, and this is like a leather brand, premium leather. It is called Lone Pine, American made. That attracted me, and once I felt it, I knew that it was something definitely worth checking out. And I'm going to open this up, if you bear with me just a second. And I think there's some other info on here. So I saw this as well when I kind of looked at it. This Arrow, genuine leather. And these sell really well. These sell like 60 to 75. So this was probably about a $6 or $7, $6.99. And I expect this will go in that 60 to 75 range. It's a nice premium leather type brand. All right, another piece of outerwear here. And this was a brand I've heard of, but I decided to go ahead and kind of take a chance on this one. This is John Ashford Adventure. It was $6.99. And you can see it's like a barn chore jacket with those corduroy cuffs and the corduroy collar, which will help it out. This is a size large, and it might be vintage. I don't think it really matters too much in this case, but it's a nice piece of outerwear. It's flannel lined here, $6.99. I expect it'll go, comps were going in that 40 to 45 range, and we'll get it listed, we'll get it sold. Another type of John Ashford leather jacket. Now this is really heavy and something that I think is actually a hunting jacket because there's shoulder pads here. I can feel it. So I will market it that way. This was $6.99, and you can kind of see the inside there. It's a nice, big jacket, definitely a hunting one, warm leather, and let's see if there's anything else here. Let's see. Oh, I apologize. This is not, yeah, it is, okay, it is leather. Size medium. These were not selling for as much as the other one, probably like 30 to 35, but I think that a lot of the ones that were put up for this didn't really market it right. This is, this is really a hunting jacket from what I can tell. You can see it's got like the pockets down there and the shoulder with the shoulder pad. So that's how I'm going to market it, hunting, all that good stuff. Hopefully I can get into that like 40 to 50 range at least. This was a kind of a questionable buy on my part. This is LL Bean. This costs $4.99. And the reason I got it, as you can see, it is a vintage full zip, sleeveless vest, fleece vest. I thought this would be like 30 to 35 because it being vintage. But, I think that there's nothing special about it. So the vintage crowd only really cares if you can kind of see something's written on it, or there's an old emblem or something. This is just plain. It's probably going to be more like a $20 item. Should have really thought about that more. It might go even a little bit lower, but being vintage, it'll help it, market it, and it will sell. All right, I just sold one of these, or something similar. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren Sport women's V-neck chunky cable knit sweater. I'll keyword it up with fisherman. I just sold a white one for $32. It was on my what sold video. I think it's coming out, at the end of the month here. So I bought this for $4.99. I will list this out for probably $35 again. It's, a nice chunky pattern. And it is a medium, probably vintage, but I don't even know that I'll put that in the listing. I don't even think it's going to matter. All right. This is a Peter Millar merino wool sweater sleeveless vest. Looks like a golf vest here. Very nice. Quarter zip, maybe half zip. You can see the tag here. And I do believe that this is probably a bit older, but not 100% sure. We'll have to look this up. This was $4.99. These I think are go for about $25, and I thought those would go a little bit more, but the pattern I think is nice. That will help it out. Okay, this was a terrific find here. On the way out of the store, I decided to look, and these are actually equestrian riding pants. Even better, they are new tags. You can see here, this is the Tailored Sportsman right there. And the MSRP is about $125 on these, and these were going anywhere from like $70 to $100. This cost $4.99. It was right on the new rack. It's got the model here, the Trophy Hunter, and these look like, just looking at the size, they're a 28R, so they're women's. I actually found a pair of these, not new with tags, in the bins recently. Picked them up because they go for like $30 to $35. Equestrian people, they have money. They will spend money on this stuff. If you have a horse or you ride horses, that kind of stuff people are going to need. And it's got the tassos at the bottom. All right, last item here. And this one is a Roundtree in York. It is a kind of a quarter zip sweater. Now the reason I got it, two reasons I got it. First of all, it is new with tags. So it's got that new with tags. It is also a 3XB. So $4.99 for this. I will list this out for probably $25, $27. This is obviously not a great brand. Easy to find. Probably won't be able to get much more. I might have to mark it down to $20. But we'll see. We'll see how it does. Usually, people will come out. If you're willing to hold it a little bit longer to make the money, that might be what I have to do in this case. I'm not going to just mark it down to $15 to get it sold real quick. There's no money to be made there. Anyhow, that's all I've got for today. I appreciate everyone watching. I've got some more videos coming. My What Sold is coming up end of the month here. And more good stuff to come. More thrift hauls. Appreciate it. Do all the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe. Thanks.